Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got a question from Eric here, and Eric, really short question. He basically said, "Hey, I've just been laid off. Do you have any advice for me? What should I do?" He says, "Last Monday I was abruptly laid off and found myself unexpectedly looking for work." So Eric, this sucks. Yes. So I think I've talked a little bit about this before, but I'll just give you, what should you do in this situation? I'm also going to lecture you a little bit on what you should have done, so that you can avoid this in the future. Because, okay, so let's talk about what can you do right now. So what you can do right now is come up with a solid plan of what you're going to do each and every day until you get a job, right? It could just be a numbers game, right? I mean, you're kind of in a desperate situation, so you can't be quite as picky. I don't know how much you have in savings. Don't put yourself in these positions, right? I hope you have savings. When you don't have a job and you don't have savings and you have to scramble and you've got bills to pay, that's called being in a squeeze. And when you're in a squeeze, you make compromises and you have to make bad choices. So avoid being in a squeeze. But if you're in a squeeze already, then here's what you do. So what I want you to do is go ahead and figure out a nice plan for how you're going to get another job, right? First of all, let's get your resume fixed up. If you have the money, go hire a resume writer. I've recommended some in the past, but get that all squared away. If not, just get it ready, right? Make sure that you have a very clear objective of what kind of job that you want. What is your specialization? Good time to work on that. And then you're going to come up with this plan of how many jobs you're going to apply for each day. And we don't want to just do sheer numbers here, because we want to increase the chances of you getting these jobs. So I would probably make my plan something like this, right? Some portion of your day should be dedicated, so many hours, to improving your skills to make it more likely that you'll be able to get a job, and practicing interview questions, preparing for interviews, right? Some portion there. Next portion, you're going to want to be spending time looking for jobs, right? We're going to create a pipeline like we're a salesperson. You're going to be looking for jobs to apply for, right? And you need a quota of how many jobs you're going to apply for per day. And when you apply for those jobs, I'll get to that in a minute, but we're not just gonna blast a resume, right? And then the last portion is going to be replying back, responding, dealing with. So you should be able to fit. It's like you're working full time on finding a job. If you do this, if you're spending 8 hours a day working on finding a job, you're gonna find a job in like a week or 2 weeks. I guarantee you that will happen, right? People go unemployed for a long time when they sit on their butts, or they apply for like 1 or 2 jobs and they expect to get them. But if you have a nice quota here and you're applying for like 5 to 10 jobs a day and following up, and think about all the other activities that you want to do in order to facilitate your job search. You might say, I'm going to network with 1 or 2 people per day. That's another good quota, right? Think about all the things that you can do. Like, you're gonna have to brainstorm this. I'm giving you some ideas here, but you need to have a system, a plan, a pipeline that you're going to put in place. Now, when you apply for jobs, this is critical. You're not just going to like blast your resume and cover letter and spam it out to all the jobs on Monster.com or Hired.com. What you're going to do is you're going to apply specifically for specific jobs, and you're going to change and gear your resume towards that job so that you match that job better. Not going to lie, but you're just going to customize and tailor it for those jobs. If you can get a personal referral, that is better, right? I always talk about this, but in this case, you might not have time. You don't have time to build up a network, so I can understand just applying straight through, but that's going to help. If you could do a video resume that you kind of attach with that's going to help too. That's going to be something that stands out. But the key thing is to make sure that you've got a quota and you're going to apply for these jobs, and you're applying for them specifically. Don't apply for like 15 jobs at the same company. That's going to look bad. Make it very tailored to that job. So when you apply for, let's say you apply for 5 jobs, I can apply for 5 jobs in 10 minutes. Or it could take me 5 hours because I work hard on each one trying to really gear it towards that, right? I would give you totally different advice if we're looking long term, but we're looking short term here. So you got to play the numbers game, but you got to increase the chances here. So, I mean, what's eventually going to happen is works like this. It's just anything like sales and marketing, and is you've got a funnel, right? You put a bunch of prospects in the funnel. You want high quality prospects. So let's say that you start off with, you end up with something like 50 jobs you apply for. You get 10 interviews, you get 3 offers, right? This is where people go wrong. Is they apply for 5 jobs, they get 1 interview, they get 0 offers. If you apply for 100 jobs, you get 20 interviews and you get 5 offers, that's pretty good, right? So the thing that we want to do is we want to increase the conversion rate at each step of the funnel, right? To use my marketing knowledge here, this is what we're trying to do, is you want to have quality stuff at the front. You apply for 50 jobs, but you apply in the best way so that it's most likely that you're going to get interviews, that you maybe get interviews on 10% of them or so, right? There's a funnel, a process here. So then the second thing I'm going to say, now I'm going to lecture you and say, don't get yourself into this position, right? So, I mean, you obviously didn't put a lot in your email, but so I don't know your total background, but I will tell people that this is, you know, when you've just been laid off and you're like, oh shit, that's a squeeze position. You want to be doing the things. This is why I created the How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer course. You can find that at devcareerboost.com. This is why I tell developers to create a blog, right? Go buy my devcareerboost.com How to Market Yourself course if you haven't already and you don't have a plan. Like if you would lose your job and you'd be like, oh shit, what do I do? I'm not even, you know, I'm just do what's in that course, because that's going to help you. And I'll kind of briefly summarize it here. Get a blog up, right? Get a specialization. Start building a personal brand and marketing yourself, right? Build a network, and don't do the cheesy networking. Instead, provide a lot of value to people so that, you know, I know a lot of developers, right, that have gone through my material, either through my blog or through the How to Market Yourself course. And if they lost their job, they would be able to get 5 offers within a couple of days. They could just make a few phone calls, send a few emails, and they would have job offers because they have a solid network, they have a solid brand, they've marketed them themselves. You know, companies are dying to hire them. You've got to do that for yourself. It's going to help you so much in your career. This is like, people do not understand this. I just want to emphasize this point, is that is why when I stopped doing so many Pluralsight courses, the very first course I made was How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer, because that's the most valuable stuff I can give you more than anything else, because it's going to help you so much in your career. So anyway, you know, I don't mean to lecture you too hard, but just make sure, you know, after you get through this, you know, get this job and then go and do the things that I'm telling you. You know, get that blog set up, get that brand set up. You know, like I said, all the stuff that I cover in that How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer course, it's important stuff. You know, if you could get out there on some podcasts and stuff and really build a name for yourself, you're going to have credentials, you're going to have credibility, people are going to be knocking down your door. It's going to be simple to get a job, right? Anyone can do this, right? You don't have to be a rock star developer, you don't have to be super famous. You just need a little tiny bit of fame or notoriety in the development field, and you're going to have this ability, and it feels good, man. I will tell you, it feels good to know that you don't have to worry if you lose your job, because you're just going to get another job tomorrow and a higher pay. It feels good. So, you know, do it. It takes some time. Yeah, it might take a few years to build up, but start working on it now. I'm riffing here, but if you're in college, if you're new, right? New developer, you especially need to do this. Even though you think you don't have much experience, you don't have anything to share, and oh, you don't know much, start working on it. Start working on your brand, start building this up, because it's going to take some time to get this all clicking. It might take 3 or 4 years, but if you invest now, then when that time comes, I wish I would have done it when I started. That's why I'm telling you this now, is because I've been there. I've been in that place where I've lost my job and been like, oh crap. But I've also been in a place where I have lost my job and said, well, I got 3 offers and I'll pick the best one the next day. So anyway, Thanks for the email. I think this is good. I don't know if I've really addressed this question before, but if you like this video, if you feel like it could help someone out, someone just got laid off, send them this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care.